Hey everybody, welcome to my I-205 gaming series. I'm Johnny Vegas 420, and this is the underrated NFL player series, episode 1. This is about Marshawn Lynch. As you can see, I'm using the Seahawks in this game. I'm actually gonna plan on doing more of these online. So we're gonna move right into why I think Marshawn Lynch is such a good player. First, we're gonna take a look at his stats. Just all together, really. So in the 2011 season, he had 285 attempts, 1,204 yards, and 12 touchdowns, which is pretty decent. He was he was the seventh best rusher in the nation. He's a 5-year vet. You see there, he scores a touchdown on a nice rushing play right up the middle. And this season, specifically, was his best season he's ever had in his career. He had the most touchdowns this year and the most yards and the most attempts, on top of the most games played. Marshawn Lynch is absolutely beastly. I think if he was in another offensive system, he'd be doing even better than what he's doing. But in the Seahawks, he's still producing, and that team has a nice defense. They don't really have the offensive core they need. That line has been doing pretty well for Marshawn Lynch, but right there you see Marshawn Lynch up the middle, and I'm showing some random clips throughout this game, mostly Marshawn Lynch clips, but it's pretty much every good clip of the Seahawks in this game, and you see that the video is only like 6 minutes, so really, most of these plays are Marshawn Lynch holding the team together. This year, though, Marshawn Lynch in December dominated. Let me see exactly his stats here. He had 6 touchdowns on 86 attempts for 412 yards, and he had a very, very good December. I think he was the best rusher in December. Towards the goal line, he's a beast. Right here we see he just pounds it in. Near the goal line, he gets the ball. He got the ball about 60 times, basically, for over 150 yards and 19 touchdowns in his whole career. That's his whole career, by the way. Sorry about... Oh, wait, maybe not. So he had 19 touchdowns? I don't understand why... Oh, never mind. It was 11 of the touchdowns were inside 19 yards to the goal, and then 8 of those 11 were within 10 yards of the goal. So he's a beast on the goal line. He's very strong back. He didn't really break away at all for big yards. 47 yards, I think, was his longest rush of the year. Yeah, 47 yards. And, he's a good back overall. You can catch the ball in the open field. He can make the play when you need him at the goal line. I think right here there's a play for him at the goal line right here. He just plows through that guy. You see how he just has that kind of versatility where he can either juke a motherfucker out, spin a guy out, or he can stiff arm and plow through you. He doesn't need either. He doesn't need one or the other. It's more him just doing what he does. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I think he's underrated. Now, one reason is because he's obviously not on a playoff contending team this year. And last couple years he was playing for the Bills, and the last 3 years his first year on the Seahawks, and his last 2 years on the Bills. Sorry, 2 years. He wasn't doing that well. He had total 8 touchdowns, and he barely had 1,000 yards in those 3 years. So I think maybe if Seattle can pick up a nice quarterback, see right there, just like I was saying, Tavares Jackson doesn't really know what to do with the ball, and he can't really read the defense. He gets sacked there and turns it over, but we get the ball back after they score and try to get an onside kick, and we're just going to give it to Marshawn Lynch to run the clock out. And his stats weren't that crazy, but he did have, I think, 3 touchdowns he had all the touchdowns in the game. and most of them were near the goal line. So Marshawn Lynch, has become one of my favorite players in the NFL because he's a versatile back, can catch the ball, rush the ball. You can see that improving. He's improving. He's only a 5-year guy out of Cal, and he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better, and maybe this contract ends with Seattle, and he goes to a team like some other team. I mean, I can't think of a team off the top of my head. Right there, 17 attempts, 70 yards, 3 touchdowns for Marshawn Lynch. Not a crazy game in terms of yards, but he got the 3 touchdowns they needed down where they needed it, and they beat the Jets. So that's Seattle beating the Jets. Thank you for tuning in. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next week in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. It'll be longer because, you know. Anyway, take it easy, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.